Now the putter is arguably the most important golf club in your bag, but if you're not feeling the love from your flat stick at the moment, now might be a really good time to switch. But how do you choose? Luckily for you, I've got all the latest models on the market here in front of me. Going to give them a thorough test at the beautiful Tavistock short game area at Woburn Golf Club to help you pick the right one for you. So I'm going to break this video down into a few different sections so you can skip to the one that most interests you. And if you do like the look at any of the putters featured in this video, there are some handy links in the description below so you can get your hands on those. The first section we're going to cover is alignment. It's a really important factor when choosing a putter, and obviously mallet putters tend to offer a little bit more alignment assistance because there is a lot more real estate down behind the ball to put those visual cues on there. And there's a few in 2024 that really stood out to me. Got them here in front of me. The first is this Cobra vintage CUDA model. I think the three lines along with the parallel ridges that run alongside it it's a very powerful system. You could argue it's a little bit busy, but definitely helped me in terms of seeing where the face was pointing. The other one I think most golfers will appreciate and definitely will work for them is the one on the Spider Tour. This is the one that Rory McIlroy uses. A few different head shapes available, but they've all got this kind of high contrast white and black system that I think is really powerful. I also like the dual line on this Scotty Cameron Phantom number 9. There is also a similar system on the number 11, which has more of an arrow shape, but just having two lines rather than one just seems to help me a little bit more. Sometimes when you've got one line, it can look a little bit off on certain times, certain putts, certain days, but the two lines just seem to be a bit more consistent for me, and I hold a lot of short range putts with this particular model. I also like the alignment system on the Edel Array. This is the F1, the kind of wing-shaped mallet version. What's really cool about this putter is this plate actually comes off. So you can take it off and there's 6 different alignment plate options. You can pick the one that kind of suits your eye and what helps you align the best. This is the T-shaped one, which I think comes as standard, which worked best for me, but there are a few different options you can choose from. So that's a really cool system with this Edel putter that not many other brands offer. But my favourite alignment option might surprise you. It is a new putter from Zebra. This is the Zebra Teardrop range and the TD7 in particular. So you can see here, you've got the 3 long parallel white lines, which is a really powerful system in itself. But then you've got the white front strip, which runs kind of along the face, kind of perpendicular to those lines. And that combination just for me was like super powerful. I was really seeing very vividly where the face was pointing, and I was starting the ball on line a lot more consistently with this putter in particular. But definitely if you're looking for maximum alignment assistance, this is the one to go for. Now this is probably the section most golfers will skip to. It's the putters that are the most forgiving in 2024. And there are a few that really stood out, brands that really moved the needle in terms of forgiveness. The first one I want to point out is the Bettinardi Innovi 6.5. We've actually shrunk this head down slightly versus what the club was like last year, but they've still managed to pack a load of forgiveness into this putter. And I was testing it on the green here at Woburn Golf Club, and I was noticing the stability on offer and the consistency of how far the ball was rolling out. So I really like the kind of solid feel I got from this putter. It's not the best looking in my opinion. I'm not sold on kind of some of the design features, but if you're looking for forgiveness, it's a really good one to try. But the two that really stood out to me, and it was hard to pick a winner really, was the first one was the Cobra 3D printed range. So on these putters, you've got a combination of some carbon fiber elements and then more metallic elements at the perimeter to give you that more stable feeling. You've got weights that you can adjust here that helps give you a little bit more forgiveness, and you've got the descending loft technology on the face, which gives you more consistent roll depending on your kind of angle of attack. If you're leading the shaft forward or back, this kind of face orientation negates any impact that has on the launch and the roll you get. So there's a few different head shapes. I don't think the alignment features are very good personally, but if you're looking for maximum forgiveness, there's a few different shapes. This one in particular, this Grand Sport 35, is a very forgiving kind of blade style putter or a smaller head type putter. If you're looking for maximum help, I really like this Agera or Agera model. Super stable in the kind of more of a wing shape design. But I also really like this LA Golf Malibu. Now this is one of the more expensive putters out there, but it does have a lot of technology going on. So it's made of carbon fiber, and as a result, what you've done is you've got kind of a carbon fiber centerpiece, weights here on the edge that give you maximum stability on off-center hits, and you've got this special LA Golf shaft, which is really quite stable. I wouldn't say it's boardy, but you definitely notice it doesn't kick as much, especially on long putts when you're swinging it quite far. It's super stable, and as a result, I felt like this was one of the most user-friendly putters out there. Didn't really give me the ball speed I was expecting on what was quite a stable and large head, but if you're looking for maximum forgiveness from a putter, I think this shaft and head combination is a real winner. So the LA Golf and the Cobra 3D printed range are the two that really stood out for me for most forgiving. Right, now we move on to the best feeling putters. It's a quality perhaps underrated, and maybe better players, more discerning golfers look for feel when it comes to choosing a putter, and there's three that really stood out to me. The first was this Ping PLD Answer putter. Now this is a carryover product from last year. Ping have actually released 5 new head shapes for 2024. Unfortunately, we couldn't get hold of any for this particular test, but regardless, the PLD range is fantastic feeling range. You've got this really deep kind of milling on the face, which definitely does a really good job of dissipating a lot of the sound and dampening those vibrations, and just giving you quite a soft, there's a little bit of audio to it, a little bit of a click to it, but relatively soft but solid. It's a nice combination you get from the PLD range, in particular this Ping Answer. I also like the feel of the TaylorMade TP Reserve. This is a beautiful putter range. Not loads of technology gone into it, but it's just a stunning aesthetic. Everywhere you look, lots of clean lines. This is a soft kind of 303 stainless steel. A little bit of milling on the face, some grooves on there just to dampen those vibrations a bit. But if you like a firmer feeling putter, really solid feeling putter, this TaylorMade TP Reserve would marry well with quite a soft golf ball if you use a soft golf ball. But for me, my favourite feeling putter of 2024 is this Odyssey AI1 milled. Now this is a titanium insert. It's all been designed using artificial intelligence. There's some weights in the sole here. This is the 2T shape. There's a few different shapes available, but it's tough to describe the sensation this putter kind of gives you when you're hitting putts. It's soft but solid, just really beautiful off the face. Not super soft. There's enough kind of feedback there in terms of where you're striking it and the kind of acoustics, but just a really pleasant sensation off the face. Really like the feel of this Odyssey AI1 milled putter. It does come in at a premium price, but when you factor in the feel, the looks, and the stroke lab shaft that you get with it, there's an awful lot to like about this putter. So if you're looking for the best feeling putters of 2024, these are the three I'd go for. So the next section is value, and before I come on to my top picks in this section, I'm just going to give you a reminder to like this video if you do like it, and subscribe to the Golf Monthly YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our equipment videos. Now, the 4 that I've chosen I've got here in front of me, starting with the Ram FX Mill. Now this comes in at a mere £79.99, and if you're looking for a simple no frills putter range that's going to give you quite a firm feel, a little bit of a louder sound to it, I recommend this putter range. I really enjoyed using it. The ball comes off the face pretty fast, which I think will help you if you play on slower greens. I like the kind of all black look of the shaft and the head, and the grip's pretty good as well. Nice large shape, could be tackier I think in your hands, but nice oversized grip there is going to give you nice control of the face. So for a budget option, this Ram range is really good. And then we move up in price slightly with the other 3 that I've chosen, but the performance level does go up a notch I think on these 3, and the feel as well. Just staying with that theme of firmer feeling value putters, I like this new TaylorMade TP collection. The new black finish they've got on this range does, as I said, offer a firmer feel, but just looks a little bit more premium than where we were with the Ram range. A few different head shapes to choose from. I really like this Del Monte 7, so the kind of that fat blade shape. Works really well. That kind of white line on the black head just stands out really vividly. But my 2 favourites in the value section were these 2. So this is the Wilson Infinite Windy Cities, the first choice. This brand new for 2024. A few different design changes. We've got the 3 lines on the flange, kind of milling on the face. It's pretty shallow, so as a result it does still offer quite a firm feel and quite a loud sound to it. But again, if you play a soft feeling golf ball, which kind of a lot of golfers who will be shopping for this sort of product will probably be playing a low compression, soft feeling ball. I think that would kind of marry up really well. There's a few different head shapes to choose from, but I really like this Blade Windy City. But probably my favourite in terms of value would be this Cleveland HB Soft. Now this is the Retrieve model. A few things I like about this one. Comes in at £139, so pretty cheap. And it's got this progressive milling on the face, which is really deep, so it offers a really soft feel and pretty good forgiveness and speed control. If your strike pattern moves up and down the face, I think you're going to enjoy the consistency of rollout you get from this putter. It's pretty forgiving. This particular shape, obviously it's perimeter weighted, so it's going to be pretty user friendly. The grip is massive. They've probably gone a bit too far on the size of the grip. I preferred the one they had before, but if you like a chunky, oversized grip, it's probably one to think about. You can get your hands on there really easily. That's going to kind of just give you better control and awareness of the club face. As I mentioned earlier, this is the retrieve model, so what you can do with this is once you've holed out your putt, you can put the putter head in the hole, get the ball out of the ball, stick in the cavity there so you can get it out without having to bend down. So if that's something that's appealing to you, just give kind of another box ticked for this Cleveland range. But what I really like about this range in particular is how soft it feels. So if you play a firm golf ball or you just prefer a soft feel from your putter, this Cleveland HB Soft 2, as the name suggests, is going to deliver that. Right, so now I'm going to pick some of my favourite models in each of the sizes of heads that putters tend to get categorised into. Obviously, I haven't tested every single model of every single range in 2024, that would be impossible, but I have tested a pretty decent cross-section, over 50 different putters here at the Tavistock Short Game area at Webburn Golf Club, so I feel like I'm pretty well qualified to choose some of my particular favourites, but do your own research into other models if I haven't mentioned them. In terms of mallets, my first one that I do really like is the TaylorMade Spider Tour. As I said, there's 4 or 5 different heads, but this particular shape really worked well for me. I love this gunmetal PVD finish. I think it looks super premium when you pair that with the Super Stroke grip. Just sets up really well, very comfortable. And I was really prolific from long range with this putter. I felt like 3 putts were at a minimum with this particular club. I think it rolls the ball really well as well. These pure roll grooves help get the ball rolling early and not skidding too much when you hit it. So I think that combination works really well. If you're looking for just a really user-friendly premium mallet, this Spider Tour range is really good, and particularly this Spider Tour model that Rory uses, I would thoroughly recommend. I'm not picking a win, these are just my kind of 3 overall favourites. The next one is the Scotty Cameron. As I've mentioned, this is the number 9. I've been testing the 5.5 as well, but this one really stood out to me. It takes a bit of getting used to. It's got kind of a sleek look to it with these holes where you can see the grass through. Is a new look for a Scotty Cameron, but I think it actually works, and we've seen other brands do something like this similar in the past. But I think what you'll notice with this particular range is the slightly different mill pattern on the face means, along with some more dampening material behind the face, this putter range does feel softer than the previous Phantom X range. So if you're looking for a slightly softer feel, you do still get a bit of audio feedback on the strike. I wouldn't say it's kind of soft, but it's softer than where we were with the previous range, which was quite firm. So that's really good. I also like the new grip that Scotty Cameron have put on these grips. So this is the full contact grip. So even though it's quite skinny, quite thin, I wouldn't call it mid-size. You can actually get your thumbs on there pretty easily, and I think the texture's really good as well, and also allow me to control the face really consistently. So this particular putter I was very prolific with, especially from short and mid-range. Kind of hold more than my fair share of mid-range putts with this. And one more left field pick. Now this is a brand that's really making strides on tour, seeing a lot of golfers gravitating towards this particular brand. Putters that maybe have struggled with the yips in the past, like Will Zalatoris, Lucas Glover, even Adam Scott, Phil Mickelson have been using this particular brand. It's Lab Golf, and this is the DF3. Now this is a slightly slimmed down version of what we saw from them last year. And DF3, DF stands for directed force. So these are lie angle balanced putters. So they're essentially said to have 0 torque. It means that the club face is meant to kind of square up on its own. You do kind of get used to how the putter kind of flows during the stroke, and it does feel quite effortless actually to get the putter kind of squaring, especially from short range. I was pretty good with this putter. I think the looks take some getting used to. There's a decent amount of alignment assistance with that T-shape at the front. The only thing I didn't really like about this putter was the feel of it. It feels kind of quite hollow, quite dead. Given how large the head is, I was expecting a bit more speed off the face, but I felt like I had to give putts from long range a little bit more effort. Might be because there's quite some deep grooves on the face which have taken a bit of the speed off the ball, but once you kind of recalibrated yourself to know that you have to give putts from long range a little bit more effort, That should help you get the speed control right. And then I think in particular short range putts, if you struggle with short range putts and you're used to using a larger head design, definitely worth giving this DF3 from Lab Golf a try. Loads of different head weighting options, as you can see here. There's arm locks, there's all sorts of lie angles available as well. So we recommend you go for a custom fitting for this particular model. If you do that, I think you'll really enjoy the performance on offer once you get used to those unorthodox looks. Right, so the final category is blades, and these are the three that really stood out to me in 2024. The first is the PXG Battle Ready 2. Now this is the Brandon model. Loads going on with this putter. You've got tungsten weights right in the corner to give you lots of stability, which is good because when you look down it's quite long and quite thin from front to back, so you might look a bit intimidated by it, but because you've got that weighting there, you've got a polymer inside the head, as well as some pretty aggressive milling on the face in this kind of pyramid style design, combining to give you a softer feel. So while it's pretty relatively soft at the impact, so if you like a soft feeling blade that's going to give you a lot of stability, I'd recommend the PXG Battle Ready 2. The next one to talk about is a carryover product from last year. So this is the Ping 2023 Answer range. I like the kind of contrast between the front section here in silver and the black section behind it, and you've got the white line perpendicular to that, so that kind of contrast system really works for me. You've also got some tungsten weighting here, so pretty compact head again, pretty stable on those off-center hits. But probably my favorite blade for 2024 is this Odyssey AI1 model. You've got this pan-like window in the back, which means you can see the artificially designed face design. It's very unusual, but when you hit a few putts away, you can actually feel and experience it at work, especially from long range. What is a pretty compact head, it was surprisingly forgiving. My rollouts were very consistent with this, and I think that's also helped by the kind of face design. So you've got some subtle grooves here, which I do think help get the ball rolling a little bit more, and you've got this white hot insert as well, which I was surprised about actually. I thought this would feel softer than it actually did. I still felt like it actually felt quite firmish, or kind of mid to firm. So you might be expecting something that feels a little bit softer from this white hot insert, but that aside, really nice overall looking putter, really clean design. I love this kind of dark blue finish on it. Loads of shapes to choose from, of course, in the Odyssey AI1 range, but this #1 model really stood out to me in particular. So the moment has arrived. It's now time for me to pick my overall favourite putter of 2024, and it is the Odyssey AI1 milled putter. Now this does come in at a premium price, there's no getting away from it. £450 is a lot of money for a putter, but what you do get is a putter that feels incredible. There's loads of shapes available. This is the 2T. I'd probably gravitate towards the kind of the 3T shape, the slightly wider head in this range, but this is definitely the best feeling putter I've tried in 2024. And I think the combination of the feel, the forgiveness on what is a pretty small head from this blade style design, just put it kind of slightly head and shoulders above other putters that I've tested this year. Don't get me wrong, if I liked mallet putters, I think the Scotty Cameron Phantom and the TaylorMade Spider Tour range would be the ones I would go for, but me personally, I use a blade style putter or a kind of wide blade style putter, so I was always going to choose a slightly smaller head shape, and this particular one was just the one that kind of ticked the most boxes for me and gave me the best feelings over the ball, and was probably the one I hold the most putts with actually, testing here on the short game area. So Odyssey AI1 milled, that's my favourite putter of 2024.